Do not worry. That is the point of the course, right? So that's day 2. That's this weekend. All right. Then day 3, day 4. Day 3 is going to be all about intraday mastery. Okay. So all Asia session mastery, case studies, algo cycle timings, which we haven't talked about with our current students. Block 2 is going to be all of the daily cycle variations, the 8+ variations, the weekly cycle variations, and then cycle mastery, putting it all together so you can understand it on a fractal level from the 1 minute all the way to the 1 week using these cyclical cycles. It's redundant, that is. Then, of course, block 3, finally, the mastermind entries, getting into our variations of our entries, the best ones to use, how we scale in. Scale-ins are my favorite thing to do. I'm very good at scaling in because I've seen it tens of thousands of times, but you guys are going to learn how to do that as well. And of course, the perfect plan for intraday. That's what we're always going to end off every day with, is putting all the concepts together into a manageable piece by piece, function so you can reciprocate this every single day. All right. And then the last day, of course, to be life-changing for everyone, learning to escape into a manageable piece by piece, function so you can reciprocate this every single day. All right. And then the last day, of course, is going to be life-changing for everyone, learning to escape the matrix and take advantage of the limitless financial opportunities presented on a daily basis. Block 1 is going to be reviewing all things from next Saturday. Block 2 is going to be the intraday and algo mastery, putting it together. And then the block 3 is going to be trade and risk management. And then, of course, the Q&A for your next steps to success. All right, so your actual journey to success, what does this look like to become a mastermind? The first phase, the first step for everyone is obviously joining the boot camp. You guys have already joined the boot camp, so you've already taken your first step on your journey to success, which I'm so happy and I'm so proud of everyone for, right? After you go through that, there are still several more steps to go through. Your second phase, your second step is over the boot camp, the 4 days. This is going to be the initial shock that you're going to be undergoing with the brand new mindset approaching trading. Again, you will not master this in 4 days. I don't care who you are, how smart you are, you will not. This takes time, the experience, right? So now after you go through these 4 days, that's where your third step comes into play. Practice, practice, practice. So after the boot camp, you're going to have all these hierarchy. You're not just going to start a mastermind. You got to go through the ranks. There's pro, elite, dreamer, then becoming a mastermind, all these different roles that you're going to have and objectives in order to get there, from community engagements to then your performance of, actual money. And then also is going to be your comprehension of the skills in the form of exams and quizzes from the courses and all the other material. It's the ongoing support. So will it be easy? Hell no, because nothing worth having comes easy, right? So we got to excel to the next level. And as long as you have what it takes up here, you will have what it makes in your wallet. You're going to achieve everything you want, right? And of course, the last phase is going to be, that freedom phase. So showing you that approach, whether you have a few $100s to your name or maybe a few thousand plus, what's going to be your roadmap? Are you going to immediately go for funding? Are you going to immediately start growing your small account to then get funded? There's going to be a unique roadmap based on where you are financially. So there's not going to be any more confusion in your market interpretations. You're going to have a plan. You're going to learn how to execute that plan financially and do so on a routine, consistent basis. Everyone at this point will be different. Some people could make it right out of the gate. Some people could take a few months. It's all case sensitive based on how hard you're working, for that and the questions you ask along the way. So this is your whole journey to success. It's not something that will happen overnight, but it will happen in due time if you stay true to the course. All right, so now what I want to do is I'm going to have breakout groups just for a few minutes or so, everyone. Let me see here. All right, let me see. Here we go. We're gonna have six. All right, so you guys are gonna go into your breakout rooms. We're not gonna do it as the community as a whole, but I'm gonna set a 6-minute timer or so, and we are going to have you guys introduce yourself to one another, from new students to current students. All of you guys are gonna be intertwined with a group of four to six people. All of you guys just introduce yourself, answer these questions, come right back, and we're gonna get right into the course, okay? So that being said, we're going to go ahead and create it, and you guys will have access right now. You guys want to go ahead and click that sign. All right. Mr. Yilmaz, if you could please join. Nad, TJ, if you guys could both go as well.
Hey, Nat, you want to join room number 1? Okay.
Oh, what's the move now after? I'm gonna talk for a while. All right, I'm gonna take 5 minutes, 3 minutes remaining. And we're gonna get started. Broadcast message to all. 3 minutes remaining. All right, guys, I'll be right back.
Nat, join room number 1. And Wilmer, you got to join room number 6. Wilmer Lima, join room number 6. Hit join. And then Nat, join room number 1. Vipu, join room number 3, please. Vipu, you hear me?
Bro, how do I join room number 3?
Just hit join. Scroll down until you see room 3 and hit join.
There's an option at the bottom that says breakout rooms. Press on it. Room 3, press join.
Yeah, I see.
Okay. And now you see it? See the option to join?
There's an option at the bottom that says breakout rooms. Did you see it?
You see where it says mute?
At the bottom of your screen.
Look at the very bottom of the toolbar. You see security, participants, check. You see where you check? And then record breakout rooms. Hit breakout rooms and then join room number 1. All right, Hutan, join room number 4, please. Look at the very bottom of your computer. You see the toolbar when there says breakout rooms. Join room 4. Cool.
They should all be back probably here in another. I don't know how long they need. I just had another minute remaining.
Yeah, another minute is getting late.
Yep, I know that already, man. I was talking with a few people, Javon and Earl, and there's been the whole wrong approach. I mean, like, people are all over the place when it comes to this. So it's like I'll talk to you about it later, but like condensing everything, like from the last boot camp, I had 100 slides just for day 1. Like it's a lot. Like it's like I have to go through absolutely everything.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's just a lot of material. So, you know, for me to try to condense it, there's just so much crap. It's not even an algo boot camp because I got to teach everything before that point, you know? So it's like after this boot camp, things are going to be changing. There most likely won't be another boot camp approach. It's going to be something else. And I'll discuss that with you later, but
all right, no problem.
all right, I'm gonna go ahead and say please join back broadcast. All right, so if I close all rooms,
Shouldn't we just close all the rooms and make it easier?
Yeah.
so we return to the main screen. All right, got it. All right, everyone, go ahead and head back. We're gonna get started.
All right, at this point, everyone should be back. Remember, please be in view of the camera, and our admins will be reaching out to you guys if if there's any suspicions, if you guys have any questions, please message them, let them know. They're the ones who are going to be actively watching. All right, so hopefully you guys are able to introduce one another. We're going to have that another 1 or 2 times throughout today, tomorrow, and let's go ahead and get right into it. So, all right, everyone, bootcamp challenge. So those who know, we have a different challenge each bootcamp, and this is going to be the opportunity that you guys are going to receive to jumpstart your Dreamsfx trading journey. Now, what is the bootcamp challenge? It's an opportunity for you to share your experience, on Instagram, any social media, to enter for a giveaway for a prize. And how do you participate? For any post that you complete, whether it's a story, Instagram post, the more entries, the better. And they're all presented with different values. So one entry a day is if you repost at least one of our content items on our story. If it's our boot camp and you reshare it on your story, that's 1 entry per ticket. Your second entry, if you want to get 2 entries per ticket, if you upload a picture or video of yourself or just of the screenshot of your computer, obviously with non-sensitive material, then you're able to enter 2 entries. So if you just take a picture, even it's of this screen or something else, and you let the admins know, hey, just this is for the challenge. Okay, it is what it is. Let them know. You can take a picture and then just tag at Dreamsfx for that story post so we can actually see it. If your account is private, we won't be able to see it and you don't have to enter the giveaway. But reminder, this is completely optional. It is not mandatory by any means. But the opportunity that presents after this 5th entry, right? Can we get 5 entries? If you post a short video of yourself or of your notes or just your experience, be 5 to 10 seconds. Then you get 5 entries per post. Again, tagging us to make sure we actually see it. Your name then is added to the drawing list with your amount of credited points. So with that being said, the giveaway for this bootcamp is going to be a 50K MFF challenge account. The winner is going to be announced the Monday after the bootcamp ends. So it ends Sunday. The next day, the bootcamp winner will be announced and you'll be receiving your 50K MFF account. Again, completely optional, but why not partake in something that is completely free, right? Especially if you always wanted to fund an account or want an opportunity. This applies to all new students and current students. The selection is completely random. So the more times you post, the more entries you gain, and the quality or the amount of the entry is based on what type of post that you do on your story, on Instagram. Just remember to tag us, and your profile must be public for this. Even if you just turn it on for the weekends, turn it off. Just make sure we'll have no idea, okay? All right, if anyone has any questions, you can ask me about it, type in the chat, whatnot. We're going to keep going forward. Right before we get into it, rules and expectations of the bootcamp. Please, everyone, follow these to have the best experience. 1, the bootcamp is 4 days, and it's 4 to 5 hours each day. It's designed to be short and rigorous training course. However, we're going to be providing you guys time for breaks to ensure your attention and focus is on point. Again, we're going to be going through everything as efficiently but as fast, as possible, because there is way too much to cover in 4 days. So if you don't understand something, there's going to be opportunity for it to be answered either during the boot camp or afterwards. Whoops, that was 52. Recording and camera on the entire time. For security purposes, obviously, we say in the NDA, we teach our own proprietary and intellectual property that depicts our edge in the market. Any attempt to record the boot camp, take pictures, etc., will result in incident removal from the boot camp with no refund whatsoever. I encourage you guys, please do not take screenshots, pictures. Not only will there be a watermark, but we get notified. If you attempt to record from a third-party platform, we get notified that you do so, and that's just instant ban, nothing. We are here for you guys, and you need to understand the bootcamp is not everything. It's just leading you to everything that is going to come afterwards, okay? So throughout the bootcamp, we're going to have 1 random security check by our moderator for every person, just to ensure that you guys are going to show your workspace, you're not having any problems. And it's not just going to be, but 10 seconds. Hey, just share your screen. What's going on? Great. We're good. As mentioned, the reason why things are not leaked from us is because of the security protocols. It's no fun from a student perspective. Oh, we want stuff leaked. But I now understand as an educator, out of the hundreds, thousands of hours I've put into this, thousands of hours, it's kind of just like, you're not going to succeed if people just try and leak this thing. It's just going to end up being like everyone else. And especially you're going to see there's not going to be any advantage. There's not going to be anything, especially because you're going to have the opportunity to receive everything from the boot camp afterwards. And you're going to have all the videos of all the concepts afterwards and 10 times the amount of depth. So I encourage you guys, please don't be stupid. Please don't risk it. It's dumb. This is just the introduction. Okay.
I'm not going to have any worries about that, right, everyone? Type yes if I'm not going to have any worries, right? There's not going to be anything. Type in the chat. Good. 3, write down all of your questions. The bootcamp is not styled to be an active Q&A section. We all know that you guys are going to have questions at some point throughout the bootcamp. That's why we leave cliffhangers. That's why we leave some things open-ended, because those questions will be addressed later in the bootcamp. And if your answer is not received, then there's an opportunity on day 4 of the bootcamp for you guys to ask all of your unanswered questions. So I encourage you guys to have a separate sheet of paper and label it accordingly. Bootcamp questions, day 1, and then the section of the question that you have. Day 2, the section or the block you had the question. This is going to be a key piece of paper, so make sure you write down all of your questions in the most, in the best detail, and they will get addressed, they will get answered. All right. 4, take high quality notes. Don't just do Sanskrit or anything abbreviated. Previous students will tell you this too. Make sure to take high quality notes. There's going to be, adequate time that's going to be given, but at the same time, it's not going to be for you to copy everything on the page. The words I say are more important than what's on the screen. Just like in school, you can't put everything on a presentation. If you write down word for word, you're not understanding the most important things. So anything that's bolded, anything that's italicized, anything that I say are the most important. And for obvious reasons, not everything is going to be given on the screen, because in case there is someone who decides to break the rules, well, it's just going to hurt them. It's not going to hurt anybody else, because what I'm saying is still being delivered, right? So paraphrase the most important information and draw replica examples. If you have, pencils or crayons or markers, color coding, highlighters, whatever, to study them to the max. And of course, at the end, there will be an opportunity to receive all the diagrams for the bootcamp afterwards, so stay alert for that. 5th and final thing, have fun and trust the process. All of you guys are a part of the bootcamp for the same reason, and just like college, you're going to be graduating off into the world of top-tier trading. We are all here for the similar reasons. Developing meaningful relationships with other members and building a community of high skill set individuals is what separates us from everyone else. It's not just about making money. It's about the whole process it takes to actually get there. What it takes mentally, how to succeed or in success and surround yourself around like-minded individuals. It's not like it's going to be a school project where you're working with people you don't want to work with and you're trying to have a half-assed project. There are very high skill set individuals within the community, and building relationships and starting to work in groups is going to be a key factor to everyone's success, especially when you're working on the same with someone else who's on the same wavelength. It's going to make you grow so much quicker. So that is going to be so important. So have fun, soak up the info, and then off to where the real mastery begins afterwards in the post boot camp, Dreamsfx Discord, mastermind course, so on and so forth. With that being said, day 1, introduction. We're going to do the key takeaways from the first, the bootcamp recording, only a few slides, and then contingent after that, I might say we could have a quick 5-minute break so we can keep going through. All right, everyone. So the bootcamp recording recap. As you guys have all hopefully watched by now, and if you haven't, I heavily encourage you guys to rewatch it. Day 1 of May bootcamp is very informative, but is meant to serve as a complete review prior to actually joining the Mastermind Bootcamp. With the core concepts of day 1 alone, you can become more than profitable. Just trading structure, order blocks equal highs, equal lows, premium discount, you become very profitable. And that's a very smart edge to SMC, right? However, our goal is to exploit the algorithm that manipulates and regulates price. We're not interested in just trading another strategy with another edge. Our goal is to understand every single move that happens in the market, the reason for it, because you then know, well, shit, anything can be possible. But that's where a plan is going to come into play to showing you, once you know everything, this is how you only take the best of the best. That's the whole point of it, right? The bootcamp is solely about liquidity derivatives and mastering the algo, understanding how the banks really trade and the operations behind all financial markets. And you're going to hear that statement a lot. Operations of all financial markets, the back end operations, why everything works the way it does. And that's what the algo is going to be teaching you over the period of the 4 days. Now let's refer about some of the key takeaways from day one. While all day one concepts are important to be aware of, only a few of them actually remain important for the algo. For the rest, you're going to be learning how to use them from a different perspective. What are those things? What are topics that we do utilize from the day one? Of course, we use order blocks, we use imbalances, points of interest, fractality, and structure, but in a completely different utilized way. Structure is not king, as everyone is misled to believe. If structure was king, why do all traders who trade structure always on the wrong side of the market? Premium discount, while it's logical, it doesn't have any relevance in the whole scheme of things, especially when it comes to algo. Equal highs, equal lows, so on and so forth. That's what you're going to be further learning about, the why, but that's not what we trade. In order to know where and how to win, you first need to know how and where to lose. And that's what day one is all about. Everyone wants to focus on where to win. But what's the last thing that anyone wants to do in the markets? The last thing anyone wants to do is lose. And for the day one of the Mastermind Bootcamp in May, that's all we talk about is, oh, this is how you win, the winning trading setups, win, win, win. But this go around, we're teaching you guys exactly where and how to lose, because if you know where and how to lose, that tells you exactly where to win. All right, so we're just going to go through that real quick. Now we're going to go to the day one, advanced liquidity 201. Now, of course, I know that there's going to be a process to this, so I want to have a raise of hands, raise your hand, type in the chat, keep going forward, or take a 5-minute break. Up to you guys. I'm ready to fly through, but I want to get a pull from everyone because I want to make sure your attention is exactly where it needs to be. All right. Day one, advanced liquidity. Lesson overview. In this lesson, you guys will be learning the fundamental application of liquidity. You're going to be learning the core concept of liquidity variations that provide fuel to the markets, all the major different retail liquidity types and the reason they fail, how to use retail liquidity against retail traders. What the heck? Whole thing just logged down on me. And again, in order to know where to win, you guys must first know where to lose. Where is everyone losing in the market? What strategy, no matter if you've done, indicator, basic retail, if you've done SMC, don't just study your wins, study where you lose with the data that you have for consistently. Are you losing based off of your order blocks? Are you losing based on structure? Are you losing anywhere? It doesn't matter at that point, right? There's always some commonality. So it's going to enable you to think by mastering these types. It's going to enable you to think from a logical perspective and give you the expert understanding of why all strategies lose at a certain place in time. When I say logical perspective, there's a difference between logical perspective of actual market operations compared to a retail logical perspective. For instance, we know that it would make sense conceptually if there's support. Well, retail's like, oh, it's already rejected a few times. It's going to continue higher. But there's difference between retail perspective and actual logic based on market operations. So that's just a key insight as to what we're going to be getting into now. So first things first, what is liquidity and why is it important? At the end of the day, liquidity is the volume of exchange between buyers and sellers. Now, there's a whole bunch of different applications for liquidity, and doesn't matter if it's liquid assets, XYZ, but for the time being, we're just saying it's the volume of exchange between buyers and sellers in any marketplace. Liquidity is what provides fuel to the markets, and without it, it would not exist. It would not exist. What do I mean? Any strategy that you've used in the past, it doesn't matter anything. All strategies rely liquidity to be present, meaning if you're trading a trading strategy and you want to apply it in the markets, it requires there to be both buyers and sellers active in the market for you to apply a strategy. But not all strategies are based on liquidity, meaning all strategies aren't teaching you about liquidity, but why all strategies work at any given point in time is because the underlying factor of liquidity is always present in all of them, right? So what does it actually mean? It's essentially the more liquid an asset, an instrument, a pair, whatever is, it just means the more freely you can enter and exit the market as you choose. If you're trying to sell, your positions, but there's not any buyers who are willing to buy it back, you can't sell that position until there's a buyer that'll actually buy it back. So that's what liquidity is, being able to enter and exit freely when there's a whole bunch of liquidity of people trading on the back end, someone who can cover and take your order in the opposite direction. Liquidity is responsible for every single move in the market. Again, don't think about equal highs, equal lows. That has virtually no relevance at this point. Any move that happens, whether you go 1 pip higher, 200 pips higher, lower, doesn't matter. Any individual move always requires liquidity to go there, right? Liquidity acts as a magnet for price. Liquidity is always building. It's always seeking. It's always collecting and then repeating. All of this is simultaneously happening on all different time frames all across the board. One move that happens in the moment is going to be a purposeful move that price is going to have to either build, seek, collect in the future. So liquidity is a big magnet that price is attracted to everywhere. And liquidity, going more in depth to it, why do we identify it and what does liquidity actually tell us? Liquidity tells us 3 important things. Liquidity tells us where price has already been. It tells us where it's going and how it will get there. It tells us where the money, or more professionally, is the gas is of any move in the market, right? So what is actual gas? What's gas and liquidity? If we know that liquidity is the volume of buyers and sellers, what is the actual gas of those buyers and sellers? What are the actual different positions these buyers and sellers are taking that are making a liquid market? Well, gas comes in the form of stop losses and all pending orders, whether it's a stop order, if it's a buy stop, if it's a sell stop, if it's a buy limit, or if it's a sell limit. If it's a stop loss, if it's a take profit, all of this is liquidity. Anything about someone's position is liquidity. But most specifically is where traders are losing. That is liquidity. Where is money in the eyes of the institutions or the algorithm? And that is based on where everyone is losing. So think to yourself, well, if this is the money or the gas, this is what and where people are going to be losing. So we need to focus on where everyone is going to be losing, so then we know where the money is, where we want to be collecting before price goes anywhere in the market. Give you guys about another 20 seconds or so. We're going to keep going. Again, just paraphrase, because we got a lot to go through. All right, let's keep going.